session here that we have is meant to be a very, very interactive session. All right, so you have to talk. And the topic for today is digital money. When everything can be digitized, money can be digitized. Okay, so let's hear from you guys. Money. What exactly is money? And then what exactly do we mean when we say digitize money? Right? And the thing would be that when the currency bills in India were demonetized, right? It gave rise to a lot of. It must have been done with a certain purpose, and we cannot assume that the purpose for which demonetization was done was kind of like a bad purpose. It's a bad purpose. You would not want to sort of shake the entire country from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to Assam, right? You shook in one stroke. You shook up the entire economy. So the question then comes, and this was essentially a very strong push to move towards digital money. Okay, so what is money, and what is digital money? What's money? Money can be two things. One is a noun, right? One is a noun. So noun means money. So maybe you can take out a 100-rupee bill and you say, "This is my money." Money can also be a verb because you transact with money. All right. So we got to understand both the noun of money and the verb of money. Okay. So what is the noun of money? What is money? And money, somebody must have invented money, right? Long ago, money was invented. You got to understand the purpose of money. So folks,
in the older days, in order to buy a thing, we have to give a thing, which
okay,
is not available with the another person.
Very good.
He is provided with something else.
Okay.
We are provided with something else which is he is in need.
Okay.
So we have to exchange in order to satisfy mutual needs.
Okay, very good.
Afterwards, it is not possible to exchange the things when the population is increased, when the needs are increased, number of variety of items are introduced for human being. So at that time, a tool is required. Or a common tool is required in order to purchase the things. Then only the term purchase is coming to account. Until that, the term exchange only is available.
Okay, very good. You see, he's touched on a lot of things. Okay, what was that system? I have chai, you have coffee. Let's exchange. Barter system. Very good. So the barter system. The barter system was very limited, but it required exchange of products and services, right? So exchange means I will come clean your house, right? In the process, you give me 1 kilo of rice. Example. So it's a barter system, but the barter system has severe limitations. Severe limitations, right? So you say, is there a common thing? So I have it, you have it, and therefore you're looking to transact. A transaction. Folks, understand this well. Okay, I think we're going to use this board a little bit. Can I get some help? All right, so we're going to. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, so money. Early days of money was barter system. Right? Barter system. The trouble with barter system is, I have coffee, you have tea, we can exchange. But I may not want what you have. Right? But you still want what I have. Right? So the thing would be, a barter system required a transaction like this. Both A and B are transacting. Right? But a two-way transaction means both parties have something that the other party wants. Very difficult to carry this out. Very difficult. So you say, let's start with something that's common, right? So you have A, you have B, but now instead of transacting here, what we're going to do is we're going to create some kind of money. So I think this sign for money, help me out, is there's no vertical, right? What is the sign for rupees? I think it's like this. Right? That's a sign for
Cross lines.
oh, cross lines like this?
Yes, sir. Middle.
Like that?
Yes. No, only one line.
Only one line. Okay, let me get the.
Correct, sir. No,
Is it okay?
yes, we say.
Alright. Approximately speaking. Okay. So now the thing would be, you create something in between, and we have to understand the features of what we are creating in between. Alright? You create something, and now how do they transact? A and B want to transact. Alright? So A wants to get something. A wants to get something. So A wants to get, so B is going to give something to A. Right? And what A is going to give back to B, remember it has to be, the transaction is still there. But now, on one side, you have the goods and services. But what B gives in exchange for those goods and services is, sorry, A gets goods and services from B, but what A gives to B, what flows this way is A. Rupees. Okay, it facilitates. I don't need to have anything else. Essentially, what you end up establishing is a common equivalence, right? All commodities, all goods, all services now are sort of, remember, there must be some value in this transaction. Otherwise, the transaction will not take place. That we understand. All right. So the word value is everywhere. Everywhere. What we have done is you have facilitated the process for that transaction to be conducted. That's what you've done. Okay? So you have the money, and you give the money, and the transaction is done. You have to have it. But what you have done is you have created an equivalent. Money. Okay? And therefore, this becomes the common language. Every goods and service will now be in terms of money. Okay? And because you are able to use the money to sort of acquire goods and services, you want to have more money. Right? And folks, we have a full session coming up on money. So right now I'm just trying to set up the framework for digital money. Alright? Everybody sees it here. You would want to have more of it, because then if you have more of this, you can acquire more of this, goods and services. So you want more money. And therefore, in exchange for a certain good, when I have a good, I'm a merchant, I'm selling it, I want to get as much money as I possibly can. But the system works. There is a certain equilibrium, and the system works. It's not like aloo sells for 100 rupees a kilo, but bhindi sells only 10 rupees a kilo. There is some equivalence in the market. How that equivalence comes about, it doesn't matter. Okay? Everybody sees this here. All right. Now, so essentially, so by the way, can I print money at home? Can I have a printing press in my house? Can I print money? So how does, when A is giving money to B, maybe say 100 rupee note, how does B know? How does B know that this money B can use to buy goods and services elsewhere? How do you know? It's not a promissory note. It's not a promissory note from A to B. A is not saying, I will pay you 100 rupees. Right? Who is writing that promissory note? It's a body. It's a body whose authority is recognized by both A, B, and other people around it. So this here requires what we call a party in the middle. Party in the middle. You have to have a party in the middle. That will, of course, that will enforce things, that will make sure nobody's printing money at home, and so on and so forth. But this is a party. So if you pick up your 100 rupee note, I think somewhere it says, I promise to pay the bearer a sum of 100 rupees. Right? Okay, very good. So you have a party in the middle. And actually, it's not just a party. Let me use, because a party could be anybody. A and B put together, they could say, let's use C as the party. But that's not what money is. You have what is known as a trusted party. All right? You have a trusted party. So you have a trusted party in the middle, and now A is trying to get, for A to be able to secure goods and services, A needs to have that much money. Don't have money, it's not going to happen. Okay? Very good. Everybody sees this is early days of money. Now comes, okay, folks, now come to the modern times. Are you still using money this way? Never mind the digital money. Let's go back to the time when there was no online transactions and things like that. Let's not worry about it. Let's just keep everything cash. But was money always cash? You have to store money somewhere, right? Now storing paper is not that easy. Somebody can also come and rob you. Money, when you have a 100 rupee note, there is no ownership. You have it, you own it, right? And of course, folks, again, I'm not talking about illegal means of acquisition or consumption of anything, right? But genuinely, how do you establish ownership of money? Establish, it's in my pocket, it's mine, right? Very simple argument. But now there's a lot of trouble. I have money, I can get robbed, right? I have so much money, I don't know, I have no place to put. So what do? You create banks. You create financial institutions that will service both A and B. And folks, I'm not even talking about things like the banks, the large companies. I'm keeping the conversation at an individual level. Big corporations will have big things going for themselves. Let's not worry about it. Let's say banks were created primarily to facilitate the person on the street. Okay, person on the street. Even though many times when you walk to the bank, you wonder if they're serving you or you're serving them, right? Sometimes that's the way it is. Okay, folks, so you create an institution called banks. Banks essentially help you to manage your money. All right? But then of course, when you're sharing information with bank, right? You're sharing your money information, which is very fundamental to human beings, because that defines their capability to acquire goods and services. Now you're sharing that very personal information with an institution outside of you, right? You don't belong to the bank, right? So you're sharing that information. So there will be privacy issues. There will always be privacy issues. If I go put, right now, I'm told that if you have 50,000 rupees or more, right, and you transact with 50,000 rupees or more, somewhere along the line, the banks will have to notify the income tax department. All right? So you see, so therefore, you got to be very careful, right? But we're not trying to do something which is illegal. If that's the law, that's the law. All right? Let's come back here. So you have financial institutions that help you to manage money. Essentially, they don't create money. No bank can create money. All right? Banks are there to help you only one thing. They help you manage money. That's what banks do. Okay? So the early days it used to be, and early days is not like 2,000 years ago. Early days is, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago. What would happen when you work for somebody? Remember, goods and services. When you work for somebody, you're providing them with a service. They would now give you some money. How do they give you the money? You used to actually, there is a cashier. At the end of the month, there's a long line. There's a cashier. You present your ID. They look it up in the register, manual register. They look it up and they say, "Aapki mahine ki tankah 10 rupees." Give you 10 rupees. Right? We've gone through those times. Then we realize it's very inefficient. Very inefficient. Why don't we do this? At the end of the month, the employer who you work for, they have a bank account. So why don't automatically they instruct the bank every month, put 10 rupees in this person's account, right? Simple process, simple process. Okay, very good. So then came up, so that was clear, right? I don't think right now anybody here gets a salary check from the employer or collects cash from the employer, right? NIT Silchar probably, folks help me out. When you have, are you guys on a scholarship? Some of you, when you are on a scholarship, do you have to collect cash, or you get the money in your account? Money in the account. Okay, very good. That facilitates. So we're talking about facilitating transactions, right? Facilitate. Now we keep moving. So you say you have to pay somebody. Do you always pay somebody by cash? No, you have checks, right? So we are still carrying on with paper. We have come to checks. We are talking about direct transfer also, right? Let me call it DT. DT is direct transfer of money. You can transfer, you have checks. Okay. Then you continue to roll further. You say, for me, if I put my money in the bank, I have to go line up on a queue. And folks understand this well. If you have money in the pocket at 2 a.m., you want to eat aloo ka paratha, and there's a shop open for that transaction, you can go eat aloo ka paratha at 2 a.m. If you have no money, then what happens? Now there's no ATM, right? So that means banks are open Monday through Friday or Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Actually, they don't even open for the whole day. They only open for part of the day. So now you have to go queue up. Long queues would form outside the bank. Very inefficient, right? Because when you're standing in the queue, you're doing nothing else. Your economic activity, actually, when you're standing in the queue, is down to zero. Now, therefore, you are underutilized, or you are underutilizing yourself as an economic being when you're standing in the queue. These days, at least, when you're standing in the queue, you have your phone with you, right? So you can do your Facebook, you can do your chatting, you can do this, do that. Early days, it's completely wasted. No economic value when you stand in the queue. All right? So somebody realizes that every time you have inefficiency in the system, there is an opportunity to make the system more efficient. So you no longer now queue up just to get the money out, right? But where do you go? You go to the bank and queue up? No. Where do you go? You go to what? Go to ATM. ATM is, what is the full form for ATM?
Automatic teller.
Very good. It's a teller. It does not do everything that a teller can do for you. It does limited functions. But those limited functions now, for those limited functions, you don't have to queue up. That's number one. Number two, a bank may only have in a city like Silchar, let's say State Bank of India, probably, I don't know, but let's say they have 10 branches, right? 10 branches. That means you have to travel much longer distances, right? ATM, are the ATMs limited by the number of branches? No, no relationship. So you can have 1,000 ATMs in Silchar or one bank. Another bank may have another 1,000. Somebody may also say, hey, I'm a state bank, you are Punjab National Bank, why don't we have the same ATM? So when somebody comes in, right, you can go to your state bank, you can go to your Punjab National Bank, you can go here, you can go there, and so on and so forth. Okay, very good. Everybody understands ATM machine. So we are also using telecom technologies, right? So when you go to the ATM has to be able to verify that you indeed have the money, right? If you don't have the money, the ATM cannot dispense you with money. Simple stories. All right, very good. So ATM comes around. Now you say, is money the only way to facilitate transactions? The answer is no. Then comes credit cards, right? What's a credit card? What is the fundamental reasoning behind credit card?
For earning, we are spending.
Before earning, yes, spending. Very good. Very good. So the money, folks, can you spend money you're going to earn in future? What's the answer? Can you spend money that you're going to earn in the future? The answer is yes. Right? We do this all the time, right? You buy a motorcycle, 70,000 rupees, down payment 10,000, 60,000 is on EMI. The EMI is a very new phenomenon, but it's a very powerful phenomenon. It says when somebody lends you 60,000 rupees for you to acquire the motorcycle, they are saying, I believe this person is capable of making the payments for EMI. Okay? But now, credit cards. There must be a certain value that the credit cards provide for them to be so popular. right? Everybody here has a credit card. A credit card also there is a debit card, right? Let's don't worry about it. So that makes money plastic. The credit card is plastic. So money has gone plastic. By the way, whether you have plastic money, you have ATM money, you have online money, you have to have money, right? So we started off with barter system. We went to money as printed money. We went to money as sitting in a bank account. We went to money as ATM, and now plastic. Money in different forms will have different characteristics. Don't think that they are all the same. Very different characteristics. All right? Okay, continue to move. You see that they are all trying to facilitate the transaction. Because economy, if there is no transaction, economy comes to a standstill. Nobody benefits. If I cannot allow you, if I'm a bank, and I don't allow you to access your own money, never mind, you will shut down your account and move to another bank. Because banks are also competing for your money. That's a different story. But if I don't allow you, right, to get your money at 2 a.m. to buy aloo ka paratha, what's going to happen? You're not able to buy aloo ka paratha. So you're going to sleep hungry. That's bad. But the merchant who was making aloo ka paratha will not get any money. So for you to keep the economy flowing, you have to ensure that the transactions go very smoothly. Everybody sees that here. That's one thing, transactions. The other thing is, there is a certain cost of transactions. Right? Whether you use plastic, you use checks, you use ATM, you use online. Of course, there is online also. Can you transfer money using online? Yes. How long does it take? It's immediate. Actually, Government of India mandate from Reserve Bank is it's got to be immediate. Very good. We all know this. But there's always a cost. The cost will never leave you. So what happens when you buy something on credit card? So I buy something for a rupee, 1 rupee. Keep it simple. 1 rupee. So I give, instead of giving cash, 1 rupee to the merchant, I give a credit card. It's okay, charge it. The credit card again, by the way, there's always a trusted party in the middle. Every time you have a one-way transaction, meaning you give me goods and services, but I don't give you goods and services, I give you cash. It's a one-way transaction. A one-way transaction will always have at least one trusted party in the middle. You have to have it. Either it's a bank, it's a credit card company, it is a government institution, it is somebody that is guaranteeing the transaction. Okay? But let's come here, cost. So 1 rupee. So I go to the merchant and I say, give me the merchandise. I give you 1 rupee, but I don't give you cash. I give you credit card. 1 rupee credit card. Eventually, does the merchant get 1 rupee? Right? They have to go wherever they go to the bank and they say, look, somebody gave me this credit card thing, right? 1 rupee. Does the merchant collect 1 rupee from the credit card company? You paid 1 rupee, right, on that credit card. How much is merchant collecting? It's collecting about 96 paise. There is about 4.5% that the credit card company, including the bank, whoever, doesn't matter, that are basically taken out of that transaction, because that's the cost, and somebody has to earn money. So a credit card company says 2% is my cost, then 2% is my profit. I charge 4% to the merchant. So merchant, now you see the channel. Remember we talked about the channel yesterday, right? For farmers, it's the same thing. The system, guys, is pretty much the same. So when you talk about this, why is merchant willing to accept 96 paise? Why? Oops, why? You have to reason it.
Something is better than nothing.
Something is better than nothing. The merchant says, because I'm open to accepting a credit card, I accept the credit card, chances are my business is that much more. Maybe I'm paying 4% to this credit card company, but my business, the volume, the total net that I have at the end of the month it goes up by, let's say, 5%. So I make 1% more.
They set their margin also, sir. In order to compensate the loss.
Say again?
They set their profit margin in accordance with that. In order to compensate the 4% loss, they set their margin.
Okay. So, you see, so there are secondary techniques. One is when I sell you the merchandise, folks, all of these are huge business opportunities. So when I sell you the merchandise and you give me cash, I say, okay, I give you a discount. You can pay me cash 96 paise. But if you give me a credit card, I charge you 1 rupee. That is done a lot. Okay, that is done a lot. Especially, are there NIT students here? You pay your fees on credit card? You pay fees on credit card. Does NIT take your credit card, whatever the fees is, does it matter? The amounts, whether you pay cash or credit?
That is taken on the
There is a certain charge on the transactions. Very good. So there can be, folks, there's two ways. Opportunity is an incredible thing. There's two ways. Merchant can say, I give you a discount if you give me cash. All right? Or the merchant can say, I give you a discount if you give me credit card. Why? Excuse me. Why? Because if the merchant takes cash, next minute somebody can come and rob the shop. So to them, it is safer for them to accept the credit card. All right? So there is a differential. Cash is not equal to credit card. There is a differential, and the differential exists both ways. Therefore, there is an opportunity to make money both ways. Okay, both ways. It's quite interesting. So if you were to pay, say for example, especially school fees. Let's say you are paying 10 rupees for the fees. Typically, if you tell the school, I pay by credit card, the school will say, the credit card company charges me 4% more. So in order for me to collect the entire fees, I will charge your credit card 4% more. Are you agreeable? You say yes. So instead of 10 rupees, they will charge you 10 rupees and 40 paisa. All right? 40 paisa will go to the credit card company. The institution gets 10 rupees. Or it can be the other way around. Lot of transactions, they will tell you, if you're paying cash, I charge more. Okay? That depends on the nature of transactions. But folks, this money, you have to be very, very careful when you sort of engage in these transactions of goods and services through money. Okay? You have to make sure that this transaction of money does not consume additional resources. Additional resource could be a resource of time, additional resource could be a resource of something else. It should not consume additional resources. All right, that's where we are. Okay, now let's, by the way, plastic, there are many other uses, right? In India, do we have cards where you can store money and you can pay by that card? Cash cards, they are called. We have cash cards. We have cash cards. Very good. Like you have the, when you enter a certain restricted area, you can use your ID, right? And it beeps. You're authorized to enter the room, and there is some kind of a gadget at the front. You put your ID next to it, right? And it beeps, and if you're authorized, you go in. Same way, you can use a card to store money. And so let's say you go to a restaurant, you can say, I have this cash card, you accept cash cards. Cash cards, folks, is a stored money. You're storing money on the card. It's not an ATM card. Okay? It's already money stored. And if you lose that card, that stored money has gone to the person who has the card. So the ownership is there. The notion of ownership is always there. Okay? So we have all of these things. Let me put one more, and then we say, where do we want to go next? I'm holding two of these. Okay, cash cards. Cash card. Are there people here who have gone on Kolkata Metro? You have. How do you pay?
pay the money and collect it.
Say again?
Pay the money and then collect the ticket and then.
So you pay a machine and you get a ticket. Okay. Very good. Folks, others? Go ahead, sir. How do you pay? By debit card. So insert your debit card, you say 50 rupees, it deducts the money, gives you the card back and gives you some ticket. Okay. Is that ticket an electronic ticket or paper ticket? It's a paper ticket. Nothing electronic about it. So how? So then there is somebody standing at the gate verifying the ticket? Go ahead.
It's an electronic token. Actually, sometimes
It's an electronic token.
Yes.
I see. Okay, so there is electronics involved. All right, very good. So it's not like it's completely a paper ticket. Actually, it's 2 layers of paper and there's some electronics inside. Okay, very good. All right, folks, this is where we are. Talk about digital money. Digitize money. I'm not lecturing you even how come the government is able to print money. Can the government print unlimited money? Probably not. Probably not. All right, there has to be some economic activity that needs to take place to reflect a certain value, right, in the marketplace. All right, folks. Digital money. Tell us what digital money is. What is digital money? Have we invented money 100%? Remember, you want to facilitate transactions, right? You want to facilitate transactions. That's number 1. So, go ahead, guys. What is digital money? Your generation. How would you consume money? Our generation was paper. Everything was paper.
Net banking.
Then came checks. Then came all of this.
Net banking. We're using a digital money for net banking.
Net banking. Okay, so one way to do it. Can I erase this? Everybody got a sense, right? So now we are turning to. So this is how far we have come along. Now, this was the early days. This is where we are right now. We are looking into the future now. Okay? So future is where we want to go. So let's erase the present. Let's erase the past. And let's talk about future. By the way, the fundamentals of economics will not change. For you to earn your whatever money you earn, you still have to create a certain value in the marketplace. Otherwise, you will not earn the money you earn. And this is not the story of earning money. This is a story of facilitating a certain transaction, meaning the verb of money. Okay, folks? Digital money. Somebody said online. Online, okay? Online. What does it mean online? Say something more. Who said online? Can you say something more?
Without going to bank.
Talk about the transaction now. How do you conduct? When you say online, mean what?
With our own.
Can you take the microphone? This microphone. Yeah, thank you.
Means if you offline banking, you want to go to the bank, write something, you want to draw the cash something, or you want to transfer it. But in online, we have an account of ours in our mobile phones or computers. We can just transfer it ourselves.
Okay, so this one says, are you saying this? He gives the goods, by the good or services, doesn't matter. And A gives online payment, meaning you have a certain account and you do online. You have an account and you do online. Is that what you're saying? Okay, very good.
In between, the bank is a mediator here.
The bank is the party in the middle.
In the middle, but nowadays means now what online doing is the bank is a mediator, but we can't put it together. The online is mediating now.
Online meaning what? PayPal or Paytm?
PayPal, Paytm, net banking.
Net banking.
Means Google is has an app called Tells, which means by our phone number it will locate what the bank accounts are having for registered on a phone number.
Very good. So either you have an account name or you have a phone number. Right? That becomes your ID.
Easy transactions to
Understood. So the ease of transaction comes around. Okay, folks, net banking. Now, every solution will have a plus and a minus. So what's the plus of net banking? Apparently, you can link your account to your. You can link. You have an online presence. You can link. You have an account number. You can use your phone number, right? You can use Google as a party in the middle and so on. Go ahead, sir. What's a plus?
Remote payment. Remote payment.
Free.
Paying the merchant who is situated in long distance.
Okay, so very good. That's a plus. Very good. Others? What else is a plus?
All time payment.
All time payments, right? So it doesn't matter what time of the night it is, day it is, doesn't matter, right? So this is, so you have to say the plus thing. The plus is anytime, right? Anytime. If you're at home, you could be in a shopping mall, could be any place. The place also does not matter. Okay. Others?
It can be fast. The payment
Fast.
is very fast.
Very good. Fast.
More secure. Physical notes. More secure.
More secure. Very good. This is a very unique solution. This is secure as well as fast. Usually fast means you sacrifice a bit of security. Apparently not. Okay, very good. What else? I thought you had something. Yeah?
We don't have to carry physical money.
Okay, no physical money. No money. No physical money.
No chances of error.
No physical money. Accurate. Somebody says accurate. Okay, what else?
Particularly, change problem.
Change problem. Meaning, say something.
You can pay any quantum of amount. For example, 10 rupees and 50
Oh, I see. Okay.
25 paise.
Alright. Very good. No change needed. So amounts. Any amount. Right? Any amount, any time, any place. Very good. Lots of pluses here, guys. Okay? But you understand that there will always be a cost associated with these pluses. And apparently, the way we are moving, we are more than happy to accept those costs associated with this, right? But these kind of things, do they give rise to opportunity? So let's list the vendors who are providing these kind of things. Somebody said Google. What is the service called?
Yes.
Can you spell it?
TEZ.
T-E?
Z.
Oh, TEZ. Okay. T-E-Z. That's what it is, right?
Double Z. 2Z.
Okay. Yes. What else? Every bank has online, right? Okay. So very good banks are there. TEZ is there. What else? Paytm.
Pay buddy. Pay buddy. It's an e-wallet.
SBI Buddy. Buddy. By the way, SBI, is that really your buddy?
Buddy is BUD. It's an e-wallet.
Huh?
E-wallet.
E. Okay, very good. Buddy. Very good. Folks.
There is no need to have an SBI bank account to use the SBI buddy wallet.
Okay.
My money
Yes.
may be in any bank.
Very good. You see why is SBI reaching out to somebody who's not even an SBI account holder? Why are they doing it? Fundamentally, it is an opportunity to do what?
Cut out that user.
No, wait. We're not going to the data part. Data part takes the conversation to a totally different dimension. Let's not worry about the data part.
Today, more customers.
More customers, more money. Essentially, the more people are using your system, the data part is one aspect, but more money you have an opportunity. Remember, every transaction, you're taking something off that transaction. Okay? So this is opportunity. So you have lots of this, and there will be many more. All right? What's the deal with Paytm? Can somebody describe Paytm?
It is like
No, you have to use the microphone. Can you pass the microphone to the front, please? Tell us. What is happening with Paytm?
What Paytm become nowadays is it is an e-wallet which you can shop even in case if you go to any shopping mall or even a shop, a small shop in my village, I think there is nothing global, I think so. But when I go there, there is a how it means there is QR code, pay with Paytm. Just even in small shops also.
So merchant has a QR code.
Yeah, merchant has a QR code, and they are paying with that, and it has all the things like shop. We can shop with that. We can book flight tickets, everything. What essential for us, mobile recharges, and we can directly link a bank account with that. So even for example, if you want to buy, if it doesn't have any change in a petrol bunk, if I want 1 liter of petrol, I want to pay 82.32 rupees. And the pay 82.32 rupees exactly, okay. And it's easy because it's directly taken from the bank and doesn't need much to like much time. Our money is secure with that. It's make like
Okay,
scenario.
very good. Folks, can we, okay, there's lots of positives here, right? Is there a negative? Okay, is there a negative? Go ahead, sir.
Both the sides need an internet connection.
Both the sides, you're transacting. Remember, you need a party in the middle. Now, not only you need the party in the middle. Remember, early days, note means a party in the middle. If I'm using a 100 rupee note, it better be a genuine 100 rupee note, right? Okay, so very good. Sister, okay. You need another party in the middle. It's not enough to have a government in the middle. You need something else. Go ahead. What do you call it?
So we need a network.
You need a network.
A network provider.
You need a network. Very good. You need a network.
Electronic gadgets are very must.
The electronics, you need not only the network to connect, but you also need a device that you're going to use to connect. Very good.
Phone or laptop.
So you need some kind of an electronic device. Okay? So you've gone away from paper. Right? You're now, has paper, by the way, been fully eliminated? Or not? Maybe, I don't know, you can argue, 100 years, paper will be gone. But then, trust me, 100 years, unless something exceptional happens, all of us in this room will also be gone. So let's not worry about 100 years down the road, okay? Let's worry about now. So you need the network, you need a device. What else? And how do you know that this device, somebody said secure. How do you know that the network and the device are secure? How do you know?
Cybercrime issues also have that.
Do you not have a malware, a spyware, an adware, all kinds of wares on your devices? Right? You download apps. When you download app, it was crazy. When you download app, they ask you access to your phone book, access to your speaker, access to your camera. They want full access to the phone when you download many apps. So whereas you may have, on one hand, you say you are secure here, plus side, you may also have security as compromised. Okay? Very good. Other negatives? Go ahead, sir.
It is more secure than cash.
Very good. When you say something is more secure, how are you able to compare securities? There are two different types of environments. One is paper driven, the other is electronics driven. In many environments, yes, you can reason it this way, but they are not 100% equivalent. But I'm not challenging what you're saying. All I'm saying is that because the nature of money has now become slightly different, the security considerations will become different. Okay. By the way, when you have all of this, there is one more advantage you have. Maybe earlier you could not carry out a transaction, but now you're able to carry out with these things. Okay? So there is a huge plus where both merchant as well as the person making the payment can engage in a transaction that was not possible earlier. Okay, very good. Let's look at this. You need a network, you need a device, you need somewhere a mechanism for secure transaction. Okay, what else? Is any other negative?
Knowledge in using the devices.
Using the device, very good.
Legal knowledge.
You see, we may say, mobile phone is kind of like, if you're born with it, right? Whatever it is that you're born with, if you're born with it, it comes naturally, right? Because walking comes naturally to us. By the way, walking is an amazingly complex thing. Amazingly complex thing. You know how the human body balances itself? You know how do you know something is horizontal? There is, have you never seen construction sites? They have to, I don't know what that equipment, that instrument is called. It's basically a liquid thing, and there's a small bubble, right? And you can tell whether it's horizontal or not. Same way, human body has exactly that mechanism, biologically built inside. That's how we balance. But now mind. So you say yes, people need to be able to use it, and that's not so easy. That's not so easy. Giving somebody a phone to make a voice call and giving somebody a way to earn money through transactions is totally different thing, right? People also have to believe that the merchant has to believe that when I get this Paytm promissory note, Paytm will pay me, right? So there's all of the other things have to happen. So the trust comes in. The trust, excuse me. Earlier, the trust was with the government. Now you have to somehow figure out an element of trust. So, me takes time. Me takes time. All right, folks. So, everything has been, that could be done. Let's go back to that statement. Go ahead, you want to say something?
One more advantage I didn't mention, sir. Apart from all payment like formalities, some emergencies I can help some other person who is having no balance in their account. Instantly I can transfer digital money to their account and load the money. They should to transfer money in their place.
Very good. So you can add additional financial services. Very good. See, so it's an enabler for financial services. Very good. Now, go ahead. We have to get her the microphone, please. Where's the microphone? Please. Go ahead.
One of the advantages is it also solves the problem of fake notes.
Fake notes. Okay, fake notes. Very good. So fake currency. Right? Because it's no longer physical. Okay, very good.
Sir, we also need electric supply for making this digital
Very
money
good.
work.
So now we're talking about energy. Very good. Very good. Okay, folks. Now let me come to we need to bring this session to a close very quickly. Remember the earlier statement that somebody, we're going to come to that statement today also. But the statement is everything that could be done has been done. Will you say, given the landscape of what has been done thus far in digital money, everything has been done? Or are there opportunities for you guys to engage in digital money? Folks, fundamentally I can tell you, you have to be driven by a certain philosophy. Okay? So the philosophy to me is everything that could be done has not been done. Okay? But you cannot make a roti out of a philosophy. Meaning to say, you have to go beyond philosophy to look for an opportunity. Okay? So digital money, where are the, what do you guys conceive to be the next thing? Is it okay to expect every merchant to have access to a network, to have access to a device? Security, nobody knows. Very challenging. By the way, electronic security is a hugely challenging problem. We say fake money. Fake money actually does not hurt us that much. Maybe it does not. I'm not an economist and I'm not an RBI governor, right? So I cannot say how much damage does this fake currency do. But you see, there can also be fake transactions on the internet. Okay, a lot of transactions. Actually, big money never flows through cash transactions, never flows through checks. Big money always flows through online transactions. Okay, but let's come back to this fundamental question. Everything that could be done has been done. Okay, now if you say everything that could be done has been done, on one hand, it's a very, very negative thing. I believe It's not valid, but you can say, move on, look for opportunities elsewhere. Or you could say, everything that could be done has not been done. In that case, can we identify the very next step?
Sir, I have an idea for the digital money of tomorrow.
Go ahead.
So we can make use of the body energy that my body is having, and I can make use of contact to transfer money directly. So, for example, I have to pay for 50 rupees to him. I can directly touch him this way, and then 50 rupees get transferred to him directly.
Okay, very good. So he brings a certain a physical nature. So he says, if I'm with the merchant, maybe there is some way for me to transfer the money to the merchant. But you have to remember, there's no physical money here. So you have to still have a storage for storing your money, right? And by the way, guys, it's exactly the same problem. Remember the bucket problem, right? Now the water is no longer water. It's money. It's rupees. Inflow, outflows. You have to learn to manage it. And there is no, it's a very good point. What you're saying is a very good point. Maybe you can eliminate a lot of devices. Or you're saying somewhere, somehow along the line, the device now has converged into the human body. Okay? Entirely possible, guys. Don't leave it out. For example, is there somebody here who has an Apple Watch? Nobody has an Apple Watch. So, I also don't have an Apple Watch. If you have a watch, all right, what happens is this. Whatever messages you receive on the phone, actually they show up on your watch. Right? You never have to see what's happening on the phone. You can see it on your watch. You can actually make voice calls from your watch. Why? Because watch is something that you wear all the time. All right? There was a time not too long ago when everybody thought watch will go poof, no more watch. But then how do you see the time? How do you see the time if there's no more watch? Mobile phone. Very good. So mobile phone is also becoming your watch. All right. But then watches have come back. Watches have come back. All right. So we have so very good example. So you say maybe it's kind of like a watch-like thing or something else, but it's simplified. I touch the person. You don't even have to touch the person physically, because a lot of people may feel offended if you touch them physically. But maybe some other way of establishing the touch. Rather than you physically touch the other person's body, there is a touch, and you can do it, right? Transaction. Maybe a device-to-device transaction of some sort, eliminating the need for this network. Very good. Very good thinking. Others, guys? Digital money. By the way, if you have any solution that you can bring out in the market that facilitates digital money, you can make a lot of money for yourself. A lot of money. Do you know how much money Paytm makes? Does anybody know here? By the way, the merchants can also come here, right? You can establish an account with Amazon. Don't you have accounts with Amazon? You do, right? So even the merchant can become the party in the middle. But then typically you have to become like a huge merchant for people to be willing to trust you with their monies. Okay? Can WhatsApp become that party in the middle? Yes, it is. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Okay, folks. Something else, something more, where you guys see has in every form of transaction that you ever wanted to conduct. You have never faced a challenging situation. Every transaction was smooth. You never had any problems. Now you're saying we don't have that much money to have problems, right? But if you don't have money, that's a problem. When you have money, that's a problem. Right? So the problems are all around us. Don't worry. Folks, help me out. Help us out. Help yourself out. Can we get him the microphone? I think he likes to speak. Go ahead, sir.
Introducing biometrics.
Biometrics. Very good. So you can technically reason the ownership not being decided by a certain phone number or by an account number. You're talking about deciding the ownership of money through, say, some kind of a thumbprint, right? When you say biometric, I believe you're talking about thumbprint. Or Aadhaar card. Nobody said link it to Aadhaar card. You can link it to Aadhaar, right? Because Aadhaar, when I went for my Aadhaar, they even scan the eyes, right? And typically, I mean, I don't know, very exceptionally, people will change their eyes, right? But typically, you carry on with the same eyes, right? Okay, very good. So, good point. Biometric. So let's bring in biometric. So that's one way. Biometric. Bring in Aadhaar. What is the other good thing about Aadhaar? The government instantly knows, right? Every little detail about your money. So let me add Aadhaar, but it does not have to be Aadhaar. It could be something else. The key thing, folks, I want to say this. The key thing is not Aadhaar. The key thing is biometric. Aadhaar is a manifestation of biometric. The key thing is biometric, right? So he's touching on a good point. Okay, others?
The other another main point is we often wait for OTPs, and it takes 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or sometimes OTP don't even come to our.
Very true.
And so we can find a easier solution than OTPs.
All right. Everybody understands what is OTP?
And password.
One-time password. So OTPs are associated with what we call two-factor authentication, right? Very true. OTPs actually, many times they don't arrive. And even then you have to have a device. Even when everything is functioning, you still need to have a device. All right? Very good, good point. OTPs never arrive, so what? So then we are stuck. Cannot complete the transaction.
So what happens if our device is taken by another and they know our password? They can hack into our accounts.
Absolutely.
So we want a more secure than this.
Yes. So the security, folks, security is a challenge that will never go away. So security is an ever-burning challenge. So let's say security. Let's circle security. Security will never go away. Why will security not go away, by the way? I mean, when I say security will not go away, why should you believe me?
Because if any new comes, there is an alternative way to do.
No, security. Why will security never go away? Never, ever go away. Or are we going to reach a point where the systems are so secure that security is not an issue? Is security an issue today?
Yes.
All these electronics is still an issue. Why? Because every time, why do we need the police? Why? Security is kind of like police, right? I mean, even though sometimes, right? You understand what I'm saying? Why do you need police? Because there's a chore, right? There's no chore, you don't need the police. You need the security because somebody is always trying to break into the system to run away with some money. Okay, so it's a chore sipahi game that goes on forever, and the tools of information technology, all these network devices, all of these things are available to those who build security solutions, but the same tools are available to those who want to break into the system. It's the same tools. Okay, so the game that you play between chore and sipahi are also called cat and mouse. That game never ever ends. All right. Now you guys watch Bollywood movies, right? Have you all? There is no crime thrillers in Bollywood anymore. Everything is gone so secure. Nothing. No villains. There are villains. There are villains. Okay. So you got to be. All right, folks. Let's not worry about the villains. Biometric is one. Very good. What else?
I want to tell you because it is trending in Twitter. There is a company CEO or vice president. He just posted his Aadhaar number and said, "Do what I can do with my Aadhaar number." He said he posted. Then there are all replies to some hackers or someone, his bank account details, and saying that this is not your Aadhaar number, this is your secretary Aadhaar number. And they posted his phone number online. They hacked into his mail everything and post all these things. But what if a single thing is connected? If there someone means if other number they can get easily by some way. But our systems aren't that secure.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, folks, we are still gazing into the crystal ball and trying to say what is the next thing. So two things come up. One was the person-to-person transaction, right? Through maybe some non-electronic means, something else. The biometric comes up. Anything else? Folks, money is very fundamental to our existence. There's got to be something more. Go ahead, sir.
Connect the usage of devices.
Go ahead.
The usage of devices.
Usage of devices.
Usage of devices, because we have many people lack of knowledge of using the devices. So we can connect the biometric and voice. There will be a special device,
Okay.
which will be authenticated by biometric means.
Okay.
And I may not be able to use the device, technically use the device. I may not be having the knowledge. So I can transact the money by saying the instructions.
Okay, very good. A much improved user interface is what
User
you're talking about.
interfaces.
Very intuitive. I can just use my voice,
Yes.
right?
So I
Very
can
good.
say that send rupees 50 to the account number so and so from this account number. It will be transacted. So because everybody knows how to talk, right?
Okay.
But many of us are not knowing how to use the device.
Yes.
Lack of knowledge and digital things. So it could be useful, right? I don't know, maybe the future device.
Okay, very good. So come to the user again. Simplify the user interface. Computers were around, but then Apple simplified the user interface. The help of a mouse and a bitmap and so on. Very good. Folks, those are the kinds of dimensions. I want to sort of tell me where you guys are. Is it fair for us to expect that a mango seller should have a mobile phone for me to be and an ATM account for me to be able to pay to that merchant? I mean, I went to buy some mangoes last night. Okay, so the mangoes, first of all, the time that I come from, mangoes used to be 5 rupees a kilo. But never mind my time. Right now, the mango is around 100 rupees a kilo. The question is it fair to expect a 100 rupee transaction to be placed on a network and a device? Is that not an additional cost to that merchant? Where are you in your sort of fairness in these transactions? Or is that's cost of doing business, and therefore every merchant should have it? Where are you guys? Nobody wants to say anything? It's all fair.
Yes, sir, it is fair.
I mean, we always complain, oh, that's not fair, this is not fair, right? I mean, yeah, because we have our own ingrained notion of fairness, right? A lot of things we find very unfair. Oh, how could he do this? How could she say that? It's so unfair. Don't we use that phrase? Not fair?
Some businesses may not have the capacity to take the cost of
Very good. So there is a certain additional cost of doing business, right? So is it fair for us to expect? By the way, the cash also has a certain cost. Don't think the cash has no cost. You got to store it. It may get wet, may get torn apart. Somebody may accidentally catch fire. All kinds of things. But we are accustomed to those because we have been using cash for like 2,000 years. This is a new kid on the block. Can I have, I think it'd be good. Let's just do a little bit of show of hands. It's okay. Two things. It's okay for a merchant to have an additional expense, additional cost of having a network and a device and so on. So on one side we're saying it's okay. The other side we're going to say it's not okay. Everybody sees the issues. Okay. Question. It's okay. Can I have a show of hands? It's okay for us to expect that a merchant will have a Paytm account or whatever that account we're talking about, TES, SBI money. It's okay for merchant to be able to receive monies using online transactions, using digital money. It's okay. Show of hands. It's okay. All right. Can we do a quick count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of us are saying it's okay. It's not okay. Show of hands. It's not okay. Something has to be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys see? It's right. It's split right in the middle. All right. Okay. So that conversation is done. Finally. Okay. Finally. What do you guys think? Have we reached a saturation point in the acceptance of digital money? Or there is room to grow? There is room to grow. And that's where a lot of opportunities will lie. There is tremendous amount of room to grow. Okay? Tremendous amount of room. All right. I tell you what, let's just stop this conversation here. Okay? I think the next thing is to go for a certain kind of tea or something. So we're going to go for the tea, and when we come back, we continue with concept generation and so on. All right, folks, good session. Overall, a good session. Okay, there's a tea. Yes, folks, there's a tea. Enjoy Assam chai.